Welcome to the Clearly Beneficial podcast, the show where we rip off the Band-Aid and explore the future of healthcare, benefits, and the people driving innovation in the industry. This episode is brought to you by Health Next, the company leading the way in helping employers build enduring cultures of health and well-being, reducing medical cost trends, and increasing organizational performance. To learn more how they can help you, visit healthnext.com.
So nothing like sitting in a doctor's office waiting for a little skin cancer removal to talk about healthcare. And so I think everybody's a little freaked out, especially if they are receiving their plans from ACA marketplaces, worrying about the loss of their subsidies. And that will create anxiety because premiums are going up insanely high, especially if you were in a lower income bracket and now you're looking at a multi-$100 bill when you were not looking at that before, or even a family of four looking to pay for insurance, and now all of a sudden you're realizing that you're having to pay another $1,000 or so a month. So I want to talk more about the ramifications of making the choice to be uninsured. If you're uninsured, and we're all trained to have insurance, right? We have gotten it from our employers, we've purchased it from the exchanges, and there's never been a time in this country where you have more people on the health insurance rolls. So it's not just you that are freaking out. Everybody's freaking out. The insurance companies are freaking out. The hospital systems are freaking out because if people don't have insurance, people aren't going to access care. So I'm here to say that it's important for you to consider your options and look at the real root of why it is you buy insurance at all. So one of the things that people forget about when it comes to a health plan is the magic number. Now, we all worry about the copay or the deductible or the co-insurance or whatever, but there's that magic number that most people don't even know that's in a health plan, and that's this thing called the annual maximum out-of-pocket. So that's the number that once you hit it, the health plan pays 100% of your costs for the remainder of the year. And so what that means is if you're on as a single person and that plan has a $7,000 out-of-pocket maximum, once you hit $7,000, the insurance company pays 100% of everything for the rest of the year. If you're on there with a family and the out-of-pocket maximum is $14,000, once your family hits $14,000, the plan covers 100%. So there are other permutations to that I won't go into now, but that's the gist. You are protected beyond that point. Now, one can say, okay, I'm going to go uninsured. If I go uninsured, now I have no upper protection on my out-of-pocket. So for the most part, if you're a healthy person and you want to roll the dice, you can roll the dice. And even though that insurance is going to cost you a lot of money, even if you go to a bronze level plan, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You got to decide, well, if that bronze plan is going to cost me now $2,000 a month for my family, that's $24,000 a year. I have an annual maximum out of pocket of $14,000. So, you do the math, $24,000 plus, 14, so $14,000, that's $38,000 that you could potentially be out of pocket the worst situation. So you can say to myself, well, I'm going to bank all that and put it in a health savings account or just put it in an account somewhere to protect it and then pay cash for health care. Well, that's a strategy. And if you have no assets to protect and you get wheeled into an ER, that ER has to take care of you. You'll be treated at the ER. But it doesn't have a positive connotation for long-term healthcare and chronic illnesses that you might need to be treated. You'll be covered, and the ER will send you a nastygram, the hospital will send you a nastygram, we're going to collect all these things, but they still can't collect blood from a stone if you don't have assets. But if you have a house, if you have a car, if you have money in the bank, those are easily targetable assets that they'll come after if you simply decide not to pay the bill. So the story here is that insurance is there truly to protect your maximum risk. I don't view insurance anymore as a thing to help me pay that copay or that deductible. I always view it now as something that just protects my high end and what my annual maximum would be if something bad happens. So keep that in mind as you're going through this process. Many of you have put yourselves on gold plans and platinum plans, and to me, that's just money being thrown away and given to the insurance company for free, especially if you only access that care once a year for a physical, okay? If you're someone with a lot going on, the benchmark really is take a look at that annual maximum out of pocket, because bronze plans, silver plans, some gold plans, all have the same max out of pocket. So no matter what plan and what level, if you hit that number, it's still the same number. It might be $8,000 for a single, $16,000 for a family. The only difference is you pay more money for the gold plan to get to that number slower. It's the only difference when they all have the same annual maximum out of pocket. So keep that in mind as you're trying to make a decision about whether to buy insurance or not. Buy the cheapest plan you can and bank the rest, and hopefully the government will come back around and look at reinstating these subsidies for you. Remember the subsidies that are in place now are enhanced. They were enhanced during the Biden presidency. They're higher. They allow reimbursement for insurance for people with higher incomes. It is still a possibility that the next iteration of this is they roll them back to the original level of subsidy, which is a percentage of federal poverty line. So keep all this in mind. Stay cool, but I would suggest you still buy the cheapest insurance policy possible. Now, there are some things out there on the market that you might want to consider as well. These are these cost-sharing ministry programs. I'm not a big fan because, they may or may not be able to pay large claims if something really hits, but I have no basis in fact for that. That's just anecdotal conversation. So keep those in mind, review them, see if you're comfortable with them. When it comes to drugs, okay, I'm a big fan of Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drug Company. If the drugs that you are taking are available through that vehicle, take a look at buying your drugs from them, particularly generics. Same thing, use a tool like GoodRx. GoodRx is something that can geolocate and tell you what a drug costs at all the pharmacies within a certain driving distance from your house. And believe it, there are a vast number of differences between buying it from one pharmacy versus another pharmacy versus Costco versus wherever. So GoodRx is another good tool to help you look at pharmacy costs and allow you to compare prices for places and things that you might need. Sometimes even for me, I know that my drugs cost me less buying it through Mark Cuban's deal than buying it through my own health plan, which is a high deductible plan anyway. So anyway, keep all this in mind, keep a level head, and know that, this will eventually work its way through, but probably not in the timing you need it to make a solid decision for 2026, right? So my recommendation would be to buy the lowest cost insurance you can to get you through. Be smart when you're shopping for your drugs, and have a good attitude about it, even though we all know it stinks. So anyway, thanks for listening, and take care. This podcast reflects the personal views of the host and guests, not their employers or sponsors. See you next time.